Hello, this is Billy the editor, coming at ya from the text-to-speech dimension. The boys really bungled up the recording of this episode, so it's going to sound a bit weird. Zach's audio is slightly busted and occasionally shifts left and right. Marcelo sounds like he's in the bathroom and speaking into the toilet, and Ian's audio is fine until it simply stops about 50 minutes in. At that point, there will be an abrupt cut to a new recording session where Marcelo sounds normal again but Zach is still broken. I salvaged everything to the best of my ability, but be aware that Zach specifically might be a little uncomfortable to listen to if you're using headphones. Regardless, thank you for listening to this episode of That Time Podcast, but also I'm sorry you're listening to this episode of That Time Podcast.
I'm glad that anime fandom and manga fandom as a whole came together to roast that person.
Oh my god, yes.
It was true unison, bro. Those comments, God bless.
Hello and welcome to That Time We Hosted a Podcast, also known as That Time Podcast. The only show reborn into this world to tell you that you're wrong. Yes, you're all wrong. I'm one of your big three hosts, Ian, joined always by my co-host, gold medal truck coon dodger, Zach.
They'll never send me to another world.
And certified That Time Podcast tsundere, Marcelo.
It's me, your boy.
All right, let's kick it. How are you guys doing today, boys?
Pretty good. How about you?
Pretty good. It's Isekai season, so I'm pretty excited. Also playing a lot of Marvel Rivals. I'm literally no lifing that game right now, so pretty cool.
Who's your main for the listeners at home? Who are you maining?
Main Doctor Strange right now, and I'm almost getting close to night rank, so pretty excited.
Ooh, very nice, very nice.
I am casually enjoying Rivals, nowhere near as much as you guys. I do be punishing. Mostly. I gave up on Hawkeye. By the way, one of you guys needs to learn Hulk, because apparently he's like one of the best tanks in the game.
I just tried out Hulk. So here's my big reveal. I just hit Lord with Thor. So yes, I have no life. And I was like, well, I need to learn a new tank because no one else will play tank. And I tried out Hulk. I don't know if I like him. But I just got a penta with Star-Lord. So once I have that clip, I'm sending it in.
GG.
We got some news, some developments in the world of anime and manga. So I think we should jump into a few of them. First and foremost, Sakamoto Days is Netflix's biggest anime debut at 8.6 million views, which that beats out Baki Season 2, which had 6 million, and Dandadan and Dragon Ball Daima that had 4.3 and 3.2 respectively. Marcelo, I know you were kind of talking about like some of those figures may not be truly representative.
Yeah. Some of the figures are like not to scale. Obviously the statement is fact. It is Netflix's biggest anime debut, but I think when we talk about like numbers, we want to take like the whole picture. And so I was just mentioning to the boys that Dandadan and Daima are not Netflix exclusives like Sakamoto Days is and Baki is. So yeah, it's I don't want to take any of the credit away. It's still like a huge amazing number. But keep in mind that like this doesn't mean that Dandadan or Daima is not as successful of a show because they're also on like the biggest anime platform, which is Crunchyroll. So
if anything, I feel like Dandadan, everybody was talking about it since episode 1 and throughout the whole thing. And I don't hear as much talk about Sakamoto Days, even though it was pretty solid.
Well, people are definitely talking about Sakamoto Days, just not in the ways that they should be. And we'll get into that in a little bit once we kind of get into our main focus of today's episode. But next on the block, I'm looking down the line. Next week, so we're recording this as of January 22nd. As of next week, the final chapter of Undead Unluck is coming out. It's always funny when I have not been paying attention to a series and I'm like, wait, didn't that just start? No, but I know it's been going on for a minute now.
Yeah.
And hey, now's the best time to read it.
That is true, yeah. I really like the show, like the first season. I think my issue, I don't know if anyone else have that issue. I hate going into Hulu to watch anime for some reason. I don't know why. I just like hate logging. I hate the interface first of all, like the whole like layout of the app, and that's also why I haven't seen like the new season of Bleach. I just hate going into Hulu. I don't know why. I guess for Bleach, I guess I'll
Makes
just wait
sense.
until it's done and then I'll watch it. But you know,
I think they need to do what Spotify did and like get the Joe Rogan equivalent. And I think they thought that was gonna be Bleach, but they need like some bigger fish that's like everybody's been waiting for to see, to like kind of make Hulu like a secondary platform. I know like Netflix played the like low and slow game and they just had like old IP and eventually they're like, okay, let's get some exclusives. But I think Hulu hasn't really captured that one show, like the Sakamoto days basically, that like is gonna bring in like all those people.
you know what's crazy? I think in Japan there's no Hulu. It's just Disney Plus, and all the shows are on Disney Plus. Like all the Hulu shows. I'm pretty sure. I have to check it out, but I think they should do the same. They should kill Hulu. They should just kill it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Hulu and Disney Plus over here, you can buy them as a package deal. So, I mean, just cut out the middleman. I know that I have seen people talk about in the past that Hulu, Disney Plus, they don't advertise when a new anime drops. Like they may get like something old and they'll be like, hey, you can watch Yu Yu Hakusho on Hulu. And it's like, great. But if a new series comes out, they really don't advertise it. Like Undead Unluck, Bleach, Thousand Year Blood War, Sandland. These really did not get like the pushes that you see on Netflix or obviously Crunchyroll, but even like Amazon. I mean, Amazon's been doing pretty good. They hosted the first season of Vinland Saga back in the day. So
The first anime that had, let's call it the Hulu effect, right? The first the first anime that I saw that happen to was Tokyo Revengers. I feel like everybody was so hyped with the season 1 and then it dropped to season 2 exclusively on Hulu. Everybody stopped giving a fuck.
Well, I think because I caught up to the series after you guys, and I finished like the first season or the second season. I'm like, great, let's get some more. Where is it? And you guys are like,
it's on Hulu.
You got to do a different thing.
Yeah. Also, what was I gonna say? I will say they tried really hard with Bleach. Like even we went to the con in Miami, and we even had the Bleach lanyards, and I feel like they were doing a lot of promo for that first season, but they just kind of like forgot that they have like one of the big three like animes, crazy. And just like stop. I like Zach said, I just post season 1 they didn't do anything with it. Post season 1 of like the last arc, I should say.
All you need to do is like do like a quick little like teaser, play that one like the number 1 song they have from Bleach,
number 1,
and that would literally be like all the advertisement you need.
Yeah, dude, like they should just advertise it the same way they advertise those horrible Star Wars shows they're putting out. Except for Skeleton Crew, that one was okay. That one was cool.
Yeah, that was a refreshing change of pace. But speaking of manga coming to an end, Undead Unluck is not the only one, because news came out that the manga No Name is coming to an end after 14 chapters.
Big sadness.
Marcelo, weigh in on this.
Yeah. So I was a reader, sadly, and I was just a little bit confused because I went online and I read. So let me get his name correct. Raphael Jockey was one of there was two, the artist and the story maker. He was replying to everybody on the post where he announced that like chapter 14 would be the last chapter, and I was just like a little bit confused because my perception of the manga, it wasn't dead. It was pretty, for a new, like not no name really. I mean, I don't want to confuse the audience. Manga that
just say unknown.
Have an established IP.
It's like it was fate.
Yeah, it wasn't like it wasn't like it wasn't popping. Like it had like after the first chapter, it had like a, the debut chapter. I feel like everybody reads it, and then it had like a continued like 50,000 readers on the. I should specify, this is going on off the app that I use, which is the Manga Plus app. So it had like a solid following, and when I looked on the comments, people were like, what happened?" And he's like, "It just didn't get enough traction," which is a little bit weird to me, because I checked other mangas that have double or triple the amount of chapters with the same viewership, and they're still going. I don't know if like they will continue going. I hope they do, because I'm reading a couple of them, and I understand that not every manga is gonna be a hit, but it felt weird that he used that as an out, because in the same post he also said they're already working on something new. So I wonder if he just had expectations for how the people were gonna receive it, and the moment that it didn't start getting the numbers, they decided to move on to something else, because it's definitely like a sustainable number of viewership, at least at first, while it gets traction. So it's a bummer. It was a really interesting premise, but
yeah, I mean, I know it wouldn't be the first time that a series kind of got like a premature kind of cancellation or ending. There's a lot of mangaka, Tite Kubo, Kohei Horikoshi. They all had like smaller manga that made an attempt through Jump and just couldn't garner the following that obviously like something like Bleach or My Hero Academia could get. But I've also seen some crazy stuff. I've seen things where series just jump to a different magazine and then they thrive there.
Yeah, Black Clover did that. But yeah, perhaps it's just like the person referencing the person again, Rafael Jockey. Maybe he just had bigger ideas, because I know he was the showrunner for Cyberpunk Edge Runners, which has a pretty solid following. Yeah, and he wrote Witcher Ronin as well. So maybe he just thought it was gonna immediately take off because of name and like brand recognition. But yeah, like I said, I mean, going back to Tokyo Revengers, I will say the Astro Royale, I believe it's called, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That one has similar viewership to No Name, and it's still going on, and it's like 40 chapters in. So again, it's just a little bit weird.
Was No Name part of Shonen Jump?
It was Jump Plus, right?
Oh,
yeah.
Because remember Naruto's author? He also had like a manga that flopped. I forgot.
Oh, the Samurai number 8 or whatever.
Yeah, something like that. Samurai 32 or whatever.
Yeah.
I wonder if it was also because in Japan they have like that rating system that if they're not being like rated by everybody, they kind of like, oh, we're canceling this one.
Yeah, they're listen, the world of Jump is fickle and it is cutthroat, and if you don't have the guts to be in the kitchen, then they're gonna kick you out. I don't know where that analogy was going.
I thought you were gonna go for Berserk, since you said guts.
Oh, okay. Well,
next time I'll get it.
All right, let's
maybe
keep
you have
going.
to be a Griffith to get your manga published for a longer time.
There you go. I'm gonna skip the next thing on the list. I want to circle back to it because that's more of like I want to talk more news. So we got the Gachiakuda key visual first kind of look at the Bones production. So it looks like an anime.
What are you guys' thoughts on the aesthetic
for Bones? It looks pretty good. Like I trust Bones, bro. Everything they put out is it's so well animated.
I like they got my favorite character, Gloves Man. And he
we love Glove Boy.
He be pulling them on. I like it. He's kind of the characters. Correct me if I'm wrong. Have kind of like this like spindly look about them. Like they're like very skinny arms and legs, but then like big hands.
Yeah, it's what I had. I think I had spoken about it in the first episode. It's a very like Soul Eater-esque aesthetic, where like long bodies, big faces, hands, big eyes.
So anime.
Yeah, well, but very adjacent to like Soul Eater. By the way,
It's
the
like
glove
the
boy.
Shaquille O'Neal of anime.
Yeah, glove boy. His name is Rudo. Put some respect on the name, please.
Rudo?
Yeah,
Rudo?
but yeah, dude, I feel
is he
like
a rude boy? Is he a ska musician?
I- more in the rude boy part, not as much on the ska part.
I hope the opening song is a ska number.
Also,
Oh my
although
God,
for
dude.
those who read it,
By Real Big
probably with his
Fish.
power, he could probably make some really good ska music.
Oh, there you go.
Well, if the opening is ska, it's gonna be kind of crazy because every time somebody talks about ska, just think about a waiter bringing me mozzarella sticks.
Boom.
So yeah,
Is that the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones?
yeah.
Bruce, Papa Bruce, we love you.
Exactly.
I will say these news feel like they're all for me, bro. Like this
Yeah.
is all I've been looking forward to.
Well, let me bring the mood down because they announced that Shuichi Ikeda, seasoned anime voice actor, is he's the voice of Shanks in One Piece, Kite from Hunter x Hunter. But I think what his like big thing is Char Aznable from Gundam. He was like I believe the original voice from like the 79 Gundam series. And he is retiring from his role as specifically Char. Now, what that means for the future, I don't know, in terms of One Piece and other things that he is in. But people have noted that the voice of Frankie, now I'm blanking on his name, even though we just talked about him, Kazuki Yao, he had retired from a few other roles before he retired from Frankie. So who knows? Maybe maybe this could be the preamble before he bows out of playing Shanks. And just when One Piece is getting good.
I will say this. There is copium. Shanks only ever shows up like every 300 chapters. So it's not like a heavy burden on his voice. I think he can pull through.
But now we're moving into kind of like the end game. I say with gigantic air quotes because
I feel like they're gonna both retire and never meet in the anime, like both voice actors.
But hey, listen, old people want to retire. I say let them, get some new blood in there. Let's do it. And then I think the last thing we want to talk about before we get into the lovely reactions people have been having on the internet to things. A couple new shows premiering right now. Obviously, things like Apothecary Diaries have been fun. But there's two new isekais that have been getting a lot of attention this season. So who you guys
from us?
wanna...
I don't know from anybody else, but from us for sure.
So if you guys want to jump into those,
I could take the first one.
Sure.
Red Ranger. The whole name I'm not gonna say. It is an isekai name, so I'm not gonna attempt to say the Red Ranger isekai name.
Yeah, just Google Red Ranger isekai and it'll pop up.
It's literally the only one. I mean, maybe not the only one, but definitely.
The Red Ranger becomes an adventurer in another world. It's not even that bad.
Okay, sorry. I just didn't want to, but yeah, no, it's not that bad, boys. It's actually pretty enjoyable. They have definitely a gag that they're gonna run into the ground by the end of the season. But as long as you can accept that, it's honestly not that bad. And I will say I'm curious to see how they're able to work around that gag and actually make a show good. I didn't read the source material, so I have no idea if it will turn out to be good. I hope that because they decided to take the leap into making like a well-produced isekai on anime, that it has like somewhat of a content to it. But I've also digested a lot of isekais that mean absolutely nothing.
Yeah, they just last one season and that's it.
Yeah. Yeah, what are your thoughts?
Usually watch the first season. I mean, I really like it. I love the joke, the Power Ranger joke. Whenever they do like a pose, there's an explosion in the back,
Yeah.
and everybody notices, but the main character, so what the Red Ranger. So that was really good, really funny. But like you said, I don't know how long are they gonna wear that out throughout the show. But I like when they switch it up like that, when there's not like a black haired protagonist again, that they all look the same and shit.
Yeah, it's a bit of everyone kind of looks similar in these shows.
It's definitely way too early to see what's gonna happen. There's only 2 episodes out as of now, but they're both been pretty fun.
Zach, I know you watch episode 1. Do you watch episode 2?
No, so I've but in both shows that we're going to talk about, I've only seen the first episode in each.
Dude.
But I will say, for what I saw, and being someone who's honestly not a huge fan of isekai, I enjoyed the humor of it. Like Ian was saying, I liked all the stuff that you get in a tokusatsu show, like explosions and the posing and stuff, was very, very funny. And just the fantasy people just trying to make sense of what they're seeing was pretty good. I will keep watching it and give it a chance. But kind of like you said, I'm wary on a few things where I'm like, okay, I get the joke. Please give me something more.
Yeah, I wish you had seen episode 2, because there was one gag that I was like, wow, this is using this but like to such a like an unexpected way. Ian, I'm talking about the cave scene where like things are a little bit tight.
Yeah.
I'm like, that was so good. Like I would have never thought of that joke, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
I will definitely give it a watch.
Also, that could be taken so out of context.
Super out of context. No, it doesn't involve nudity, guys.
Thank you. And then do you want to take the second one, Ian?
Yeah, so the second isekai we've been watching is Headhunted into Another World. It has a second title, but I forgot. But anyway, it's like a salaryman gets isekai'd, and he gets summoned by the demon lord, and he has like absolutely no powers. So he's like, oh, but like, why did you summon me? I have like absolutely no powers. He's like, oh yeah, I need you to, negotiate with these people. So he's literally using his his work skills in another world to kind of like negotiate with the other tribes to try to bring them together to the demon lord. And it's been super interesting so far. Very funny, and definitely some good waifus, bro. Like 10 out of 10 waifus.
I will definitely say, of the two, this is my preferred one, having just only seen the first episode of each. Even like from like right from the get-go, just that initial gag of like he's summoning like my fire assailant and my archmage and the ground thing. So they all have like elemental affinities. And so the water guy is an overseas manager. I was like actually like cackling watching it. And then just, yeah, obviously, I think it goes a long way to even, like, making his, like, character really good. Like, he's a hard worker who's just unappreciated.
Yeah.
And I did think the kind of circumstances, he didn't get truck cooned. He got, like, moped sand.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's just really funny. Like you said, top-tier waifus. If you know me, the isekais I like are the ones with, like, exceptional world building. So, like,
Mushoku
Tensei.
I know he hated saying that.
Well, no. I mean, I liked the first season of Mushoku Tensei when it was like an adventure and we're learning stuff.
He didn't like when it got real.
When he went to school for his boner problems.
Okay, but the most important episodes of the last season that we got from Mushoku Tensei are the last ones, and you didn't watch them.
You didn't watch them, yeah.
I will catch up. And but no, Salaryman Isekai was fun, and I'm all for it. I just like that the Demon Lord's just a really nice, chill dude.
Yeah, he's so fucking chill. I'm just like, bro, how are you evil? Like, explain it to me.
Yeah. Also, I love that, like, and this goes with that, like, same, because they're all supposed to be, like, human in the brain and the heart. But this is, like, the most human isekai character. Like, even from Mushoku, he's just like a loser, loner pervert, but then somehow he turns out to be a genius in the world. And this guy's just like, no, I finally get to put my good hard work to use, and it's being appreciated, you know? But
my
yeah,
God. I want to plug another isekai real quick, which is Senshu.
Oh, right. Of
Yeah,
course.
it
There's
just came out.
3.
Yeah, there's 3 episodes already, and it's made by Mappa. It's like I don't think it's the first isekai they've done, but I want to say in recent times is one of them, and it's super good, dude. Like it's really well animated. If anybody wants to know, it's just about an animator. Literally, she is basically overworked like everyone in Japan. Unfortunately, like a lot of people in Japan, and she dies from like an infected clam. She ate like an infected clam soup
she
or
eats
something like that.
bad sushi or something.
Yeah, exactly. So she basically gets isekai into her favorite anime movie. So she knows already everything that's gonna happen in the movie. So she gets this like weird power where she can draw things and they come to life, kind of like that Sai from Naruto. Yeah, kind of like that. But it's pretty cool. It's very interesting and really funny. It has like some really cool characters. Like the main character from like the place that she gets isekai looks a lot like Link from Zelda or Zelda from Zelda.
Yeah, I've seen the first 2 episodes of that. It's pretty interesting, excellently animated, as we have come to expect from Mappa. They really know how to work their animators good.
Yeah.
I sadly I haven't seen it. I'm sorry. It feels shameful to me that Zach has seen an isekai and I haven't yet. Like it's a little
not
bit
on brand.
wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'll get to it. I promise.
But I just think it's funny that like for her character design, they have this in story explanation of that she doesn't cut her hair while she's working on a project. She waits until after the project and then she cuts her hair. So her hair is just super long and just covering her face the whole time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I have to imagine that was just something from the animation team where they're like, it'd be great if we don't have to animate one face of our main character for like 90% of her screen time.
Yeah, well, I wonder if it's reference to somebody, like somebody in their team or whatever.
Could be.
But yeah, do we want to get into like the juicy stuff, the thick of it?
Yes.
Some might say.
Yeah, we're gonna tell you guys while you're all wrong. Well, not all of you, but some people on Twitter, a lot of people on Twitter.
The thing is, guys, that the world is not black and white. Things are not either all good or all bad. Sometimes it's a little bit more nuanced than that, but you wouldn't know it if you listen to the people, the vocal minority on the internet, because my lord,
holy cow,
do people have opinions and they love to just shout them from the rooftops.
We all know my pet peeve. Fun fact, if you guys saw the info cards, I hate when people state opinion and facts. And people do be stating their opinions of facts when it comes to like what they think is the right or the wrong thing.
So, like, I will see stuff and I realize I need to get off the internet, because you talk to normal people who aren't terminally online, and you go, oh, no one actually thinks like this, right? But like I see people say things and I'm like, is there a gas leak? Like what is happening? Am I crazy for liking this thing?
I think a lot of people are on the Benjamin when they're tweeting those stuff.
You might be right.
Which one of the hot ones do we want to start with?
Well, I think obviously, so we mentioned before, we kind of talked about Sakamoto days, and that's like the most like recent thing. So I think that's like a good jumping off point. This all kind of started when the first advertisements for Sakamoto days, the anime, started coming out, and then they released the OP onto like I guess social media and stuff with like you could see the opening and see all the stuff, and everyone on the internet collectively was like, oh no, oh this looks terrible, oh look at they're so static and nothing's moving at like nothing's animated on ones. Why isn't this the greatest thing I've ever seen?
It was crazy, bro. Like you've never seen an opening of Naruto where there's just like Naruto sitting on a cliff just contemplating his existence. Like he doesn't need to be moving the whole fucking time. Like I don't understand, dude. It's so stupid.
They're like, why is it not 120 FPS? I don't get it.
Yeah.
I have a theory. But I'll save it for like once we've like talked about it, because I think I know why people are losing their minds about this stuff. But obviously, yeah, there was a lot of talk about the OP and like, hey, this looks terrible. Oh my god, they dropped the ball. You know, the Sakamoto days deserved better than this. When it was fine. And then fast forward to the first episode came out, and I don't know about you guys, but I found the first episode totally fine.
Yeah, I don't have any complaints, and I'm a big Sakamoto fan. Like I've been reading that shit for like a year now, and I was excited of watching the first episode. Like literally everything that I wanted to see happened, and they did it pretty well. Like that scene of him like shooting the bullet and he throws like the gumball and that shit explodes. It was amazing. Like, well, I don't know why people were shitting about it. And before we get into the episode, like something real quick that I noticed about the opening that I was just so fucking pissed because like, why is that a thing? Why is that a bad thing? They were like, oh, like the opening is a J-Rock song. Why is it a J-Rock song? And I'm just like, what?
As opposed to what?
I guess they wanted like a fucking
They want to
pop song. Yeah, I don't understand. Like they want
Like, it
every
can't all
opening
be the
to be
same.
like den 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 now. I don't get it.
Like,
Dude,
bro.
literally I looked it up. The musicians
It's Vondi.
literally made a fucking song for the opening. It's like a new original song, and it's just like, bro, shut the fuck up, please.
It's Vondi. Didn't they do one for like Chainsaw Man?
Yeah, exactly. Like, and how many fucking rock songs don't we have with like anime? Like, it's so stupid.
They forgot AOT had some of the heaviest bangers.
Yeah,
And they're
crazy.
like metal. Okay, I will. Wait, are we starting off with like opinions and thoughts on the show?
Sure.
Yeah.
I was a huge fan. I would say I know the premise, but I was a huge fan. It really hardcore. I'm talking storyline, animation, and feel. It reminded me a lot of Hitman Reborn, which again I know you boys have not seen, but you can put it together. Hitman, type vibe. I love when shows have good slice of life that's like part of the actual plotline, and I feel like it's so. I was just like enjoying it. Katie was watching it with me, and she gave it the seal of approval. I think the animation's fine. I think the animation is like if anime didn't go in the direction in which it currently is, which is like ultra smooth, hyper movement animation. I think this is what it was supposed to go to, which is like very high quality, everything hand drawn. It doesn't need to be forced perspective. Everything,
Yeah, dude.
You're tapping into my theory about why I think people are being stupid about this. But yeah, continue.
So yeah, no, and I thought it was 10 out of 10 great. I think the premise, I'm curious to see where the premise goes, because obviously so far it's just like I would hope with how many chapters there are that it's more than just Sakamoto at the shop every day and like something other than like happens and we go from there.
Dude,
but
it gets
so
much
I know that
interesting.
it's
You'll
going
see.
somewhere else, but I'm really enjoying the slice of life and like the build up. Like it doesn't need to be fucking 10 out of 10 choreography, action, everything balls to the wall right at the get. Like let me get some, let me figure out the wife, the kid,
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think people have been conditioned
I think
to certain things.
I think the show when I started reading it, it was what I thought, without shitting on it, because I don't hate the show, but I thought that was how Spy Family was gonna be. I thought it was gonna be like Sakamoto Days. Does it make sense? Like
Yeah.
it goes into a plot and it gets deeper and deeper and deeper. But like
yeah.
Spy Family was always like kind of like an anthology kind of show. But dude, it's so good. It's gonna get so good, dude. I can't wait for you guys to see like the characters that they're gonna show up like later on too.
Well, the last episode with the last one I saw was where they meet what's
Lou.
her name? The
Lou
Lou,
Xiaoting.
yeah.
Yeah.
And the whole thing with the pork buns and stuff.
Yeah, that was awesome.
It's a tragedy to lose some good bows. Can't handle it.
Yeah.
So my whole thing is like, we as a community, as anime fans, I'm gonna stand up on my soapbox when I say this. We as anime fans are spoiled rotten. We get more episodes more shows per season than we have ever had in the past. Those shows are all like quality. There is a whole horrible problem in the industry of anime of animators being worked basically to death to churn out these amazing shows. So, and Jump, of course, is well known for just bringing in like hit after hit after hit after banger. And when you have like, you know, your Chainsaw Man and then Jujutsu Kaisen season 2, like every episode was like its own insane animation experiment, and then Dan was just incredible start to finish, and you're just getting like everything is pushing the envelope past like anything we can expect. And then you have Sakamoto Days, which is just fine. It's not bad, it's not blow your mind crazy, it's just good. And for some people, suddenly just good is not good enough.
Yeah. I think the problem, like, if you consume anime the way that we do, you know, on a regular basis, you watch all those type of shows, like a lot of shows like we do, you wouldn't find an issue with it. Like, we didn't find an issue with it. But if you're like a normie that has only seen like Demon Slayer and Jujutsu Kaisen, of course you're gonna be looking for every show to look like that. And I think that's the issue. Like, I think what we're hearing is just like normie people, not really like hardcore like anime fans, you know?
Yeah, and I mean, like, I think about it, and you go like, oh, well, look at like One Piece, where it's like One Piece, especially like from like Wano on, it's like every, you know, few episodes you would just get this like insane animation that just like movie quality. And the longer the longer One Piece went on past that, those became more common, especially towards the end of Wano when they're in the Onigashima and when they've gone to Egghead, and just like you have like these things that are mind blowing to the point that Toei literally had to put the show on hiatus. And I just think we've been a bit desensitized to just a solid, good anime.
I thought it was awesome that we had a little break, because I know that next part on the anime is gonna be so fucking great, dude. And I'm not talking about like the animation specifically. Like, I can't wait what they do with it. You know, like I know, I know One Piece likes to, like, the anime likes to cook in specific like scenes, and I can't wait to see some stuff that's coming.
Yeah. Also, with Sakamoto Days again, I will say, I don't think it's just fun. I think it's like good to great. Just because it doesn't take the same approach that like everybody else does. Like, it's really high quality animated stuff. It's not like, I've seen all right stuff. Like, Tower of God is all right stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
Like,
Season 2.
Tower of God is good. It's not great. Sakamoto Days had a lot of work put into it. It's just like, again, it's not the hyper movement style of storytelling that we're used to. But it's still really great.
Also, we're only like 2 or 3 episodes in. I understand like Netflix is like a week behind or something. But like we're just getting started. It's like, you know, when you talk about the One Pieces of the world, the Jujutsu Kaisens, like the crazy stuff, get a season or 2 into it, get 1,000 episodes into it, and then start complaining when shit doesn't look good. But this looks good from episode 1, and but as we're gonna keep kind of going along with this theme, people on the internet have lost their fucking minds. And from here, I think I want to transition into talking about some of the other stuff on dealing with a few different series, specifically their endings. Now, I don't think we're going to go into plot specifics of, well, if we do, we'll give a fair warning. But the three shows I think I think we're going to talk about are Jujutsu Kaisen, Attack on Titan, and My Hero Academia. In terms of their mangas have ended. For Attack on Titan, the anime ended too. And then for Jujutsu Kaisen, My Hero Academia, the mangas have ended. The animes are still going. All three of them had very polarizing reactions from their audience, and all three of them had sections of their fan base say some real crazy shit. So I think the first one, maybe the worst one, is Jujutsu Kaisen. So Jujutsu Kaisen ended. I liked the ending. You guys liked the ending, right?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Okay, yeah, reasonable. But if you listen to some crazy people talking on the internet, you would think it was maybe the worst thing ever written. Maybe Gege Akutami is a massive fraud.
You would think he just drew a penis on the last chapter over and over again, the way people are reacting to it.
Yeah, when I saw somebody wanted like a Sukuna backstory when he was like young, I was just like, bro, please.
When are we gonna get the Heian era arc?
The Heian era arc. I was like, bro, what are you talking about? Who needs that? Nobody needs to see that.
And obviously, and I listen, when the final battle in Jujutsu Kaisen was going on, I will admit I had a few complaints, because I was like, it's literally like, this person does something, everyone explains it. This person does something, everyone explains it.
I love that. There's documentation of me and Zach going back and forth about
because you like Hunter x Hunter, you like having your explanation. But I will posit Hunter x Hunter would give us a chapter or two explaining things and then just let it rip. But that being said, once the ball got rolling, I loved it. I thought it was a great thing. I think it suffers only from the fact that it was a weekly release. And so people had to read it one bit at a time and spend a week in between speculating and letting their imaginations run wild.
And
very
boy,
wild.
did they run wild. Yeah. I don't know, bro. People need to stop thinking that they write stories. You guys all suck. Just kidding. Oh, except our fans. You guys don't suck. Because... dog, if you were a creative, you would have your own story and you'd be super popular. So stop, you don't have the good ideas. That's why you're not, accomplished where you are. And also, it's not but predominantly and mainly, it's not your story. Be grateful that you live in a moment in which, manga visibility is peaking and you have access to all these amazing stories and just enjoy them when they're supposed to. You can have an opinion and maybe there is a bad ending to something like that, but you don't need to drag this person's life work through the fucking ground because you didn't get a backstory to a character that is not the main character.
Yeah, and we're not saying that it's perfect, but it did what it needed to do, I think,
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I don't know, I just think kind of like you said, Marcelo, it's you can criticize. But the second you start saying, "Well, I know better," is the minute you've lost the plot. Because there's these people on the internet. There's these nice, lovely people, and they read things and they go, "I've become attached to that character. They're my favorite. Here's my favorite." And then maybe the mangaka kills their favorite, and in a really brutal way, and. Maybe they get very upset because, hey, that's their favorite character, and they actually mourn their loss in real life, which is weird because it's a fictional character.
It's a fictional character.
Not naming names, but
everybody that went to that train station or whatever it was.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god! But at the end of the day, it's not yours. Listen, I'm all in favor of things like death of the author, where once a person puts out a work, they don't get to tell someone who comes up with an interpretation that, no, that's not correct. It's you put it out there, You have to accept that people are going to think whatever they're going to think of it. They're going to come up with their theories, their interpretations. It's no longer your story. But that doesn't mean that these fans can go around and be like, well, I'm going to create Jujutsu no Kaisen.
Or Attack on Titan Kaisen. No ends.
Whatever it's called. Requiem.
Yeah.
Or basically people go, well, starting from this chapter, this is my version of it. And not only is it like super just
garbage.
Disrespectful.
It's so cringe too.
Sorry. Yeah.
Yes, it's cringe as all hell. Like these people should be ashamed of themselves for even thinking this was a good idea. But like, it's like, come on, like you're getting this upset because you love the show, and but now you're gonna turn around and be like, well, no, fuck this guy. I'm gonna write it now.
Oh my god.
Bro, can we go in on the Jujutsu no Kaisen person? They, them, I
Yeah,
don't know who they
absolutely.
are. Bro.
No.
The
fuck
fact that it was, or her, I don't know, is that a guy? Do we know if it's a guy?
Fuck that individual.
Yeah.
Specifically.
Bro, the fact that not only did they do this, but it was hot garbage, and none of the art was theirs because they just used AI to reshade and recontextualize like already drawn characters.
Yeah, they traced over things.
Bro, the lines of
dialogue.
like, and he finished the battle because he was a very strong person. I was like, what the fuck are you talking? Bro,
slow down, Shakespeare.
Yeah, my fucking nephew writes better than this.
Holy shit, bro.
Dog, it was insane. I read it and I hate Reddit, and I was like, I can't believe somebody posted this. Like, what? Like, one thing is like saying you're gonna do something, but then at least realize, be like, nah, that shit's kind of garbage.
Someone had to write it. Someone had to like type it out. Someone had to put it in their manga panel. Someone had to look at it and be like, yes, because this was not a single effort of one individual. They obviously it was like I think a community that did it, but it was just like at no point was anyone like, hey, we maybe need to rework that a little bit so it doesn't look like a 3-year-old.
Was that like a one man project? I don't even know.
One person is taking all the heat for it, at least.
Oh my god, bro.
Yeah, man.
Bro,
it's just
yeah,
that was like insane levels of cringe.
This is why bullying sometimes is necessary, because now we know that person's never gonna do this shit again. Like, and the world is better for it.
Yeah, it's insane. And I wish it ended there.
Sorry, I was just the last thing. I'm glad that anime fandom and manga fandom as a whole came together to roast that person.
Oh my god, yes.
Like,
dude.
it was true unison, bro. Those comments, God bless.
At least everybody was like, nobody was like praising it, dude.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's for one shining moment, the internet stars aligned, and
yeah,
the Lord from heaven came down, and it's like, this guy is a fucking idiot.
Yeah, this guy suck.
I hear a dog barking. Whose dog is it?
That's my son. I'm sorry. He gets nervous sometimes.
Dio.
We like dogs working. It's okay.
But then, okay, so yeah, we've got Jujutsu no Kaisen. Everybody loves it for all the wrong reasons. It has that big please take me seriously energy. But then there's also, which honestly, this next one is only marginally more impressive, but it's only because it's animated rather than traced.
Yeah.
We're talking Attack on Titan Requiem. Ian, give it to him.
Never
Bro.
heard of her.
Oh my god, dude. They didn't like the ending to Attack on Titan, so they're like, okay,
Shocker.
we're gonna make our own ending. And I was so sad to see that it was the same people doing the Berserk project, like the fan animated Berserk project, because that looked pretty good. And then I saw it like, oh my god, they're remaking the ending. I was like, bro, what a fucking nightmare. I couldn't believe that shit. It was like, oh my god, dude. It was like what's it called? Never mind, I forgot. But dude, the what sucks is that there's so much people putting their hard work into this for something that is so like nobody asked for it. or if at least not somebody with like brain cells ask
It's
for
just
it.
like the 300 people on Twitter.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
that's the best way to put it. Like, no one asked for this. No one was like, "Hey, can someone
Yeah,
fix Attack
can we get
on-"
a slice of life ending with Mikasa and and
And
Aaron ending in the shack, and that's how the show ends? Like, bro, what?
Sorry guys, bit of technical difficulty. Our boy Ian did whoopsies, and so we're back now. I don't know what we were saying before this, but it doesn't
we're
matter
professionals,
anymore.
by the way.
Yeah. No, we're so good at this. Anyways, I believe we were talking or starting to talk about the wonderful reanimating of Attack on Titan, and I think Ian was going off on it a little bit.
Yeah, dude, it's so cringe because like why? Like, first of all, nobody needed that. Second, like I said before, like there's so many like talented artists like working on this for something that nobody asked for. So oh my god, it's just like I don't understand, dude. Like how do you want like Eren and Mikasa to like live in the shack and that's like the ending of Attack on Titan? That makes like no sense compared to everything that we've seen on the show that's been so tragic from the very beginning.
Yeah, sometimes stories can have a bad ending. I know some people just need to hear that. Sometimes it's okay for things to not have a happy ending, and maybe Isayama was just trying to say something. Uh, but
Yeah,
you know, another. No, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, relating to like the endings of all these stories, something that's really important for all current, you might be cooked, but maybe like you can be fixed with this idea, and all the incoming readers, don't make a wish list when you're like paying attention or like reading a story, because that tends to lead to a lot of the behaviors that we're talking about at the moment, right? Just like enjoy whatever is in front of you. If it's not for you, find something else. The beauty of the medium is that there's literally something for everybody, and you don't need to, like, your voice matters, but it doesn't matter enough for you to like drag this person that made this their life's work, you know?
Yeah.
And
I kind of remember like that he Isayama actually came to America to like anime expo or something, and this man was in tears when he saw everybody like supporting him because he thought that that people hated him or whatever. And I was just like, bro, like I feel like Isayama went on Twitter and was like, oh, this is what they think of me in America, and he got like depressed. And it's like, bro,
yeah,
if you knew that's like 10% of the fan base or something like that, maybe less than that.
but I don't know. I just think also just with when with Requiem, the whole animation side of things, these I just think it's disrespectful, but two, it's almost kind of like irresponsible because like what happened with the Berserk series, the Berserk animation they were doing, which wasn't rewriting it was just animating something that hadn't been animated before, and you get a lot of people to do a lot of very hard, difficult work, and then it got shit canned legally, and all that effort and all that hard work was for nothing. And it's like, not only with the Attack on Titan Requiem people and the animators there, not only are you just being disrespectful to Isayama, but it's like all the people you've hired to do this, it could all just be completely shut down the same way. One cease and desist, and it's done.
Literally.
Because again, I was just gonna say, because again, they're not the creators of it. They're just fans.
Yeah, I was gonna say, just imagine if like Ian said, all these talented people. Well, imagine if they just got properly paid to do something somebody asked them to do. They would be so much better at life than like making something nobody cares about, and then you're just a meme, and like you have to like live with the fact that you worked so hard for this, and you have to keep quiet about it because people are like, no, what are you doing?
Yeah, that kind of sucks because like it does. If they decide to put that on the resume, people are gonna be like, oh, okay, you worked on that, okay.
Yeah, like if someone was ever like, yeah, I worked on Jujutsu no Kaisen, I'd be like, oh, you're a fucking idiot. But I think, jumping from Jujutsu no Kaisen and Attack on Titan Requiem, the other series that ended was My Hero Academia, and it's not anywhere near as like disrespectful or dramatic. It's a little disrespectful, but not as serious, I think, as the other two. And that's just that the series ended. I won't go into specifics, but a certain after when the final volume came out, Horikoshi had a moment where I almost forgot the manga's name. Horikoshi comes out with an extra chapter, and whatever, mild spoilers. Deku and Uraraka are heavily implied to the ship has sailed. It's like, ooh, they're a thing. To the shock of what should have been absolutely no one, because it's something that he kind of bent over backwards to basically say was going to happen from chapter 2.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't know it by the vocal minority screaming for Horikoshi to be canceled, because gosh darn it, he had clearly set up Bakugo and Deku to be a couple. What was all that talking and heartful screaming at each other, heart to heart, that they did all throughout the series, and what was all that about if it wasn't for romance?
They haven't discovered friendship yet.
Yeah.
But it's like,
So
listen.
If I tell you guys how I feel, does it mean that we're gonna be a couple?
We are.
We're a throuple. Yeah, there you go. But listen, if you like men or women or anything, if you like to read stories about boy love or girl love or whatever, as long as there's nobody's getting hurt, who gives a shit? But at the same time, understand that just because you ship something doesn't mean that is going to happen. Just because you've read something and you have interpreted it as I think that they're implying this, one, doesn't mean anything. Two, these mangaka don't owe you shit.
Absolutely not. They also don't owe you that extra chapter that you forced them to give you.
Yeah, like
There
Zach, you
go.
were saying that you didn't like the ending, and
I
compared to these people who didn't like the ending of the other shows, like you moved on with your life.
Yeah, I read it. I was reading it week to week, and I didn't care for the direction the story went. I think Horikoshi kind of lost the plot. And
On record, by the way, not a Zach opinion.
oh, there you go. But I'm not out here being like, oh, I'm gonna rewrite it. My Hero no Academia. I'm out here going, yeah, I would have preferred something else, but that, hey, it takes you take some, you win some, you lose some.
Yeah.
And
Also, on that note, or continuing about like the changes and stuff like that, not everything needs to be Sonic or like mass outcry for the change. Things can just stay as they are, and people can just enjoy them. And like, be Zach, just move on, find something else.
Yeah,
Sonic made sense because it looked ugly and it wasn't
that
like the original.
motherfucker was ugly, bro. Like I had nightmares about ugly Sonic.
But this is the original story. You're telling the guy who wrote it as intended to change it, and that's not how it's supposed to work.
Yo, you know what's
And listen,
another anime or manga that people really bitched about, and I'm like, bro, you just don't get it. Fucking season 2 of Vinland Saga. When they saw that.
oh my god,
My god, and it's the worst one because like the author is like a pacifist. He's all about peace. He's writing a beautiful story about peace and forgive, and and these people are like, oh, there's no violence anymore. And it's just like, bro.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think
It's like that meme of the dude like mining, and then at the end of the mining, there's like this perfect ending, and they just stop. It's literally what happened.
Gave up 3 chapters from peak.
Yeah.
But people don't
but at
like.
the end of
They don't like either or. They don't like when it's happy or they don't like when it's sad. Like Tokyo Revengers, perfectly fine ending, and Ian knows, like, people were bitching about, like,
people are mad because it was perfect. Yeah.
They're like, I can't believe everybody didn't die.
Yeah, and Attack on Titan's the other way around. Like, oh, I can't believe these people didn't end up this way. And it's just like, bro, they just completely missed it.
None of these series were like my favorite series. I like, even like at the time, like, you know, I really liked them, but none of them were like my all-time like ride or die series. So I you know, I was never so passionate about anything. Like, it's like, I liked the ending of Attack on Titan, and I liked the ending of Jujutsu Kaisen. I thought they were very fitting. I didn't like the ending of My Hero Academia. It's also not my favorite series, so I didn't have as guttural of a reaction to the ending. But at the same time, like, it is just a manga. It's a comic. It's a story. Like, you can move on. And, you know, if you don't like it, here's the coolest thing. If you don't like a story, you can write your own story. And
no, please don't encourage people to do that, because then we're gonna get another.
We saw what happened with Jujutsu no Kaisen.
No. I'm not saying write your own version of it. I'm saying create your own thing.
Oh no, that's impossible. They're not talented.
Well, darn it! I tried, guys. I really tried to advocate. Yeah. I really feel like so many not good shows that are just like wish fulfillment shows came from the people who are like, well, I didn't like how this ended, so now I'm doing my story where the hero always wins and gets the girl, or the two guys shipped together. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe they're watching the wrong genre. They should be watching like isekai or something. You know, they'll find a lot of that there.
You want a power fantasy? I don't know why you're going to Attack on Titan.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'll even put, this is like a maybe my first hot take, or I don't even know if it's a hot take, but it's a take about an ending of a story that I hold near and dear to my heart. Naruto. I think Naruto or Sasuke, one of the two should have died when the story ended, because there was like no stakes at the very end. And I know that the show was about friendship and them connecting, but like there should have been a cost for everything that happened.
And hot take, the series ain't called Sasuke.
Yeah. But like, so even if like, I don't know, well, again, it's not called Sasuke, but if Naruto died, for for everybody else, it would have been like at least something. There was a cost to something.
Yeah. Like
that being said, the story went on. It finished. I cried when Naruto asked Iruka to be. I didn't cry, but I was pretty close to be his father for the wedding. I was like, that shit.
Oh yeah, no, I can't believe.
You know,
that was moving to say the least. No, yeah. I will definitely say, I think the whole Kaguya Otsutsuki, whatever her name is, Moon Lady, that literally was like, oh, we really don't need this. But no, it's fine. We can get into it later. But I still like the ending of Naruto.
Yeah.
Except at the very end when he spawned.
Kishimoto just had the Chunin exams in the pocket. That's as far as he went. The fact that he went as far after that as he went, I'm blessed.
I would say,
you know?
I will still defend that Naruto is good right up until the final war, and then it was like, okay, this guy just can't write a war, but
he can write great fan service in the war sense. You know, we got all the fights we wanted to see.
Sure, yeah, it's have your cake and eat it too, but but I guess I don't know. I think that kind of ties up all the things. You know, guys, like what you like. You want to not like something, don't like it. Just shut up about it. Shut up and listen. Go find some new things to enjoy. But before we wrap up, I got one thing. I discovered it earlier today, and I totally didn't mention it in the botched recording earlier.
Whatever are you talking about, Zach?
You guys, this is going to be really surprising to you, but February 14th.
What is it? I wonder what it is.
Valentine's Day 2025. We are
Chainsaw Man.
A new chapter of Berserk.
No way!
Yeah.
I definitely didn't say that I think my dream is coming true and we're getting 4 or 5 chapters this year.
It does, maybe. And but yeah, it's happening.
I just have 1 chapter more to fulfill my guess of 2 chapters per year.
I'm a betting man. Go. And I
Yeah,
mostly
it's time
lose,
to
but I'm
gather
winning
your
this one.
families, all sit together in front of a fireplace and read the beautiful chapter coming in on the 14th.
Time to be heard
Indeed.
again.
So, this has been That Time Podcast. Thank you all for listening. Thank you all for joining us, especially if you got this far into it. We appreciate your ears. And,
Beautiful ears.
you can find us on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, MySpace.
Your nearest
Naps-
Little Caesars restaurant,
Napster,
because I will be buying a
Friendster.
pizza there.
All the stirs.
Yeah,
LimeWire.
we're on social media.
Ooh. We
LimeWire.
forgot about that.
Oddly enough, if you go find a 1957 copy of an Encyclopedia Britannica, we're in it.
Yeah, we're in it.
And as far as the social media stuff, if you guys have any ideas of episodes or things we should talk about, please go ahead and do that. I think it'd be really cool.
Yes.
Yes.
Comment.
We have ideas, but
Tell
we
us-
also want to hear yours.
Tell us which fandom in anime you hate the most.
Cool. And I guess, boys, this is where we say it. Until next time, this has been That Time.
Podcast.
All right.
Bye.
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 Can't wait for Ian to say that didn't record as well.
Guys, guess what? No, I'm kidding.
Please don't fuck up the next one or you're all getting stabbed.